everyone, this is Fen Lee, designer here at the Bead Flora studio. This is part 1 of 3 videos for making French beaded sunflowers. But another intention for this 3-part video series is to not only show you how the sunflowers are made, but I also want to show you the design process, comparing the different techniques that can be used to get a similar result, and which techniques I prefer. Before I begin, I want to share a little secret with you. I really don't do much of my beading in the studio. I do my filming here, and obviously I have my beads and wires stored here, but the majority of the time I do my beading all around the house using this bed breakfast tray. And the legs open up, so you can use it in bed if you want. But I take this all over, like the couch, or outside, or on the floor. And I also have these project bins. I have all of the beads, wire, and everything that I need for each individual project. And I must confess, I did organize it before filming this video. It was a giant mess, but I did organize everything. I have all my little tubs of beads here. And actually, this is for the last video. I just had it in here. Let's get rid of that. It doesn't belong in here. And I had like 3 projects worth of stuff in this one bin, and that is not how it's supposed to go. Right, guys? Only 1 project per bin. Okay, so I do have just 1 project in this bin. So these are all the finished components that I want to keep. And these are the ones that are rejects. So yeah, I had a lot of rejects for this project. Okay, here are all the beads. Wire that I'm working on. So all my wires here. Like I said, I did organize it. It was just like all over the place before. And of course, my little handy measuring device. What is this called? Scale. Scale. Oh my god. Okay. And I started using my new Beadwork journal to record my patterns just for the sunflowers. Now I started with the small sunflower, and I started on page 9 because I skipped a whole few pages. So this should have been here, but anyways, this is a reject pattern, and this is the pattern that we're actually going with, and this is the large sunflower that I started working on. Let's see. And this is the pattern for the sunflower that I will be demoing in the upcoming videos. These are my notes, like the how many grams of beads for what. And this is the reject pattern. I had like everything all done, but never mind. And these are all the notes. And then this is the pattern for the large sunflower. I only have the petals done. I still need to work on the center and the leaves. And since we're looking at notebooks, I want to share with you a flower study that I did for the large sunflower. This was done probably about 2 or 3 years ago. Probably about 3 years ago. They were my mom's sunflowers. The main difference that I noticed between the 2 sunflowers was that these petals here, they were a lot smaller, and the center was like 4 inches in diameter. I didn't draw it out. I just figured, okay, it's a circle. I know it's 4 inches. And this is leaf 1, it looks like. And there's like a gajillion sepals. So when I design it, I probably won't do as many because you really won't see the middle or like the inner layer. Okay, in Sunflower B, the second one, this one, the petals are a lot bigger, and but the diameter was like a lot smaller, like 2.5 inches. So when I'm designing, I look at all of the different flower studies and just kind of pick and choose what I want. I won't necessarily like design a flower that is exactly like the first flower study or exactly like the second flower study. I'll just pick and choose features from one or the other, or I'll even look online to see other examples of sunflowers and pick features from those and put in my pattern. Here's more leaves and more sepals. Holy cow, 39 sepals. Yeah, I probably won't do that many because we're trying to simplify, right? Not go all crazy. Or maybe I will, just for realism's sake. Huh? What do you think? Let me know. Drop me a comment. Should I do 39 sepals? Okay, so this is for the large sunflower. I don't know when I will release that pattern because I really don't have the pattern done yet. I only have the petals done. In the upcoming weeks, this is the sunflower that I'll be showing you how to make. There are actually 3 sizes. This is Sunflower A, and this is made using my continuous split basic technique. For this particular component, I made 2 and then combined them together. But for this one, I made it all on one continuous wire. So I believe there were 13 petals. For Sunflower B, I made using Lorna Harpster's continuous basic frame technique, and I do have her permission to demo her technique. And for Sunflower C, I don't have a center made yet. Well, let's stick this one in there. It's a bit small, so I need to make it a lot bigger. Still looks good though. But for this sunflower, I made using, again, my continuous split basic technique. And the reason why I wanted to do 3 of these sunflowers is to show you the versatility of the continuous basic frame techniques. The difference between my technique with Lauren's technique is that my technique ends with the odd number of rows, just like the basic frame it normally does. But with Lauren's continuous basic frame technique, you end up with even rows. So if you use both techniques in conjunction with each other, you can have the variations of sizes. If you want to do different sizes of sunflowers, you can scale down, just one size down. But if I were to scale down using just one technique, I will have this. You cannot scale one size down as precisely as if you were to use both techniques. Now I'm going to show you how these sunflowers are traditionally made and assembled. You would make each individual petal using the basic frame technique. Now, if you remember my flower study, if you are making a large sunflower, you would make 45 of these individual petals, or and also 39 sepals if you're crazy enough. And then because of the nature of sunflowers, you need to have the edge of the petal right at the outer perimeter of the center. But if you were to do that, it's not going to be stable enough when you assemble it. So there are a lot of solutions that designers have come up with in the past. And one of the solutions is to have like something like a mesh, what are these things called? I forget what it's called. A perforated disc. Yeah, you would use a perforated disc and you would stick the center into the center hole of the disc like this here, if I can stick it in there. Yeah, it's going through. And then you would stick each individual petal through the outer holes of the disc. And then you would just keep going and you would go around. There are other solutions. Other people have used like rings or cardboard or just a whole bunch of things. Just so that you can have the petals along like this. Another solution is to make the petals on the traditional double and split basic techniques. And it's actually not a horrible solution. I made 3 of these using the triple split basic and 2 on a double split basic. But the only drawback is that you end up with 1 ending tail wire on each component. So you would need to combine all of these together. And it is just slightly a pain to combine all these wires together when there's just 1 ending tail wire. It's just a lot harder to do. But what you do is you twist the ending tail wire slightly at the base and then take the wire and wrap it around the base of the petals here so that it is nice and secure. And then twist the wires together so that it becomes 1 tail wire. Okay. Well, actually, you don't want to do that. You don't want to twist it too much. Or you do. I don't know. Well, actually, you don't want to twist it too much because then I can't connect the second one. Okay, just twist it just a little bit at the base. All right. And now I'm going to take the third one and twist 2 of these other ones together, just slightly here. Open it up. And I'm going to take this one here and go over one of the petals like this. Ouch. Poked myself. Okay, I'm going to just twist it slightly again. All right, now let's combine these other 2. And what I find with combining the double and split basics is if you're doing too many, it's just not as stable than if you were to have 2 ending tail wires to combine. Though, when people make the larger sunflowers, they normally do the individual petals and won't do the double and triple split basics, I noticed. But if you were to do a small sunflower and you want to use this technique, you can. It's not a horrible solution, like I said, but it's not the greatest. Okay. All right, one more. And these wires are running into each other. All right. Okay, one more. Okay, now you would need to play around with it a little bit just to make sure that it's nice and where it's supposed to be. Lastly, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the prototype of the large sunflower that I made. It's not perfect yet. I have not perfected the technique yet, but it's good enough. Now, if you look in the back, these are all the wires. Now, if I were to make each individual petal, that's 45 petals with 2 ending tail wires each. That is 90 ending tail wires. Even if you were to reduce the wires, that's still 45 ending tail wires. And then you have to add the sepals on top of that. And that makes for a bulky stem. So most sunflowers will have a bulky stem. Or at least towards the top, it kind of curves down because you get the bulk towards the top and then it slims down towards the bottom. But by using this technique, it's going to be all slim, just like a real sunflower. In next week's video, I will show you how to make the sunflower petals using the continuous techniques. I hope you will give them a chance. If you would like to buy the Beadwork journal, it is available on Amazon and major book retailers online for the paperback and also for the hardback. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you made any of my designs, I always love seeing them. Connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and my website at beadflora.com. And join my and Lauren Harpster's new Facebook group for making French beaded flowers if you haven't already. I'll put a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!